hold your hands higher. I'm cracking up. This is like unprecedented. Are we amazing or what? We even lose our voices together. Okay. Oh, okay, good. So I like the trip B rhythm a little better than the trip A rhythm. Though if you get trip A, I won't say that to you. Trip A is so fantastic, it really is. But I'll tell you what I like about trip B. We have the holiday of Sukkot. We just had it about a month ago. And Sukkot in Israel is a 7-day holiday. Sukkot, Sukkot, whatever you call it. It's a 7-day holiday. In Israel, it's an 8-day holiday out of Israel. Well, 7 days in the Torah is what it says. And during Sukkot, we welcomed all of the nations to come to Jerusalem. We brought 70 bulls, sacrifices in the temple to represent the 70 nations, because we understand, there's only one God. So that means there's room for everybody. So we don't have a monopoly on that. And everybody was included. And I actually saw on Facebook, there was some parade or something, parade of the nations. And there were all these tourist people that came from all over the world, and there was some Feast of Tabernacles, parade of the nations in Jerusalem, of all these different religious people from all over the world that came to, for that idea. Then the Torah says that at the end of that 7-day holiday, there's an 8th day. And the 8th day is called Shmini Atzeret. This 8th day of stopping, of waiting, an extra day. So it feels like it's just one long holiday. Now we have Torah on that day. The rabbis instituted that we dance with the Torahs on that day. And it feels like it's one long holiday, but it's not. It's this 7-day holiday, and then it's a different holiday called Shmini Atzeret, this 8th day. So we pounce on that. Rabbis pounce on that's code. What's that about? Why do you need a 7th day and then the 8th day is a holiday? So they say that it's like Hashem is saying, I think it's Kasher Alai Predaschem. Am I saying it right? City leaders, yes? Your leaving is so hard for me. Just stay one more day. And the sacrifices on that 8th day are very simple. Now everybody else left. The 70 bulls for the 70 nations. It was an awesome party. We're so happy they came. It was fantastic. But now they all went home, and now it's just the family. So when it's just the family, you eat the leftover turkey, and you sit around in your pajamas, and it's just the family. So we had an amazing week. I mean, really, unbelievable. And last night, the Meg event, that was the best Meg event I've ever been to. That was you guys danced your way through the trip, and then you danced your way through the Meg event, and then you danced your way to the bus. The whole thing was they stopped singing, we kept going. It was unbelievable. And I'm always so grateful that there's one more day on Trip B that we don't say goodbye. Oh, the Trip A was all saying goodbye at the Meg event, and it's there's a power to that, to being launched in such a powerful way. That's very powerful. It's not a bad thing, it's just different. What I love about Trip B is we get one more day. We get to just you're still here. You're not landing all over the world. And Kashalei Pardaschem, it's hard for me to say goodbye to you. It's really, I could cry. I really feel so connected to you. The fact that you all came during this time, I know it wasn't easy. And your families, I spoke to a lot of you. It seemed like a recurring theme was that your families were supportive. I think the people who didn't come, maybe their families were a little bit more don't leave, don't go, are you crazy, you have children. And maybe you got that too. I don't know, I didn't get to hear everybody. She got it. She's like, I got that. But the fact that you're here, this is doing things that push your comfort zone. This is what builds you. So you all know, I keep talking about it. My family just moved to Israel 2 months ago. And, people say to me, was it a tough adjustment? So I say, it is a tough, what do you mean was? It is a tough adjustment. Now we came in August, summer vacation's over. And then they had a couple of weeks of school, but all of the holidays came so quickly. you know what it's like, September in a Jewish school. It's like they're in, they're out, they're in, they're out, they're in, they're out. So now that the holidays are over, now we're starting real life, right? Now we're starting real life. So now they need to adjust. So we just had this long holiday, and we all got to fill our tanks, right? Physically, we're exhausted, but we didn't have to take care of everybody else, so that's its own vacation. And spiritually, I hope your tank is full, and emotionally and socially, and now you have to go back to real life, and now the adjustment begins. It's like the thud heard around the world, when those planes land, and they're like, "Mommy, I have no sex, and I haven't eaten anything," and your husband's like, "Thank God you're here, I'm leaving." And it's like, wait, I'm not, I need, but now they need, so now we go back to being, the giver and the nurturer. So my kids are going through this now. So in my house, and that we're renting here in Israel, so there's certain things I brought from home. I brought, it's a totally furnished house. I only brought what the kids needed. Their winter clothes, the menorahs, and then I brought some comfort items. So we're like a blanket family. We're very much like sit on the couch and cover yourself in a blanket kind of family. Excuse me. So I brought all the yummy velour blankets from home and all the throat pillows, so it's familiar to them. I brought a few things like that. Their towels, their blanket, their pillows, And one of my daughters had those decals you can buy at Target and put on the wall. So she had this whole butterfly thing. So I peeled each one off and I stuck it onto a garbage bag, which was so fun. And then, what we don't do for these children. And in the main hallway, the stairway of my house, so I put the butterflies, you can't see it from the first floor, but once you get around the steps, there's butterflies. I call it Butterfly Hall. And I'm very into signs. I have quotes all over my house. So I brought 3 different quotes that I put in the hallway. And they say this. One says, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." And the next one says, "The only thing..." One second. No. The next one says, No. Doesn't say that either. One second. Oh. "The only mistake you can make is to constantly fear you'll be making one." And the last one says, "Everything you want is on the other side of fear." And part of why I moved to Israel is because, we had a dream, and my kids knew one day we're going home. They didn't know exactly when, but they know why. We always say, when you get married, move to Israel, because Mommy and Tati are going, and we really want you to be there. So just everybody go. And we were just waiting for, 19 years, and my kids knew that. And I didn't want my kids to get the lesson that you should have a dream your whole life and just never bust the move. Bust the move. Don't have a dream and do nothing. I saw a sign, if I ever see it in a store, I'm going to buy it and put it in Butterfly Hall. It said, "I'd rather live a life of oh-wells than a life of what-ifs." Don't live a life of what-if. Just do it. Worst comes to worst, so you go, all right, that didn't work. Be responsible. I didn't sell my house and make Aliyah and, burn the tickets. We rented our house. You have to be responsible and safe. But there's such a thing as being a little too responsible, a little too safe. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. So many times, it's all in your head. It's just all in your head. So, in coming here, I think that you all busted a move. That's what I think. I think that everything you wanted was on the other side of fear. I think the biggest mistake you could have made was to constantly fear you'd be making one and don't come because what if. And you push through your comfort zone. And that's where you really start to live life. That's the only way you grow, is if you do something you didn't think you could do. Otherwise, it's just, if you just keep doing what you always do, that's not growth, that's just louder. That's just you, only more of you. When you do something that's like, oh, I could never fill in the blank, right? I could never speak in public. Who am I thinking of right now? She's not looking at me. I could never speak in public. Was she amazing? 200 and then 400. It's unbelievable. Okay? You're the poster girl for this trip. I'm so impressed. They say people are more afraid of public speaking than death. Do you know that? Surveys show. So Jerry Seinfeld, I think Jerry Seinfeld, Jackie Mason says, that means at the funeral, they'd rather be in the box than giving the eulogy. Okay? And like, you did it. And you blew it away. You were awesome. You were awesome. You touched everyone.
You forgive me now? Am I forgiven?
I saw the text that Allison sent Leah. I hope you don't mind. She showed it to me. The text said, I'll do it, but I'm telling everyone what bullies JWRP. So yeah, you know what? Like, I don't want to bully you, but like a little, come on. Come on, you're so great. Like, don't wait. Don't wait for someone to give you permission to be great. Because people don't do that. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I officially give you permission to be great. Now you can stop waiting. It's already happened, okay? Just go home and do it. And this is what this week is all about. This is what JWRP is all about. It's all about, you know, Jewish women are beautiful, powerful, talented, educated leaders in your homes, in your workplaces. You know, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer or an Indian chief, you know, some of you told me what you do. I met a high-risk OBGYN. I met someone who told me that how she gives women's wisdom, strategic wisdom, right? Is that what it's called? Right? How she gives women's wisdom to like these male-dominated industries. And they're like, gee, never thought of it that way. Right? Hello? Right? That you have such an edge. I like never even realized that was an industry. Like women's wisdom in a male-dominated workplace. Like, well, why didn't I think of that? That's a great idea. So you all have incredible wisdom. And it would be a crime for you to be illiterate Jews. Because the Jewish people needs leaders. And to think that we can go to Hebrew school 3 times a week until the age of 13 or maybe 16. And think that we're well-educated Jews is a joke. We're lying to ourselves. That's just not true. And the reason why you're so powerful is because you're so well-educated. The reason why you have high emotional intelligence is because you're constantly looking for wisdom. That's why Oprah's so successful. That's why Dr. Phil is so successful. That's why all these magazines, self-help and success and all these things, is because you know that the only way to keep being great is to keep learning. So when it comes to your Judaism, we want you to keep learning. We don't want this week of JWRP to be an isolated event. We want this to be the beginning of a journey. And you're going to see, because you all share this journey together, unfortunately, we may not see each other as often as we'd like, but next week you're going to be in the supermarket and you're going to see someone from your trip and you're going to run to each other like long lost friends, like, oh my God, how are you? Right? Because you bonded here. And because so many of you have come on this trip, not just the people in the room, but we're going to talk about this chart in a second, the thousands of women who have been on this trip, our numbers are growing. So you're going to be somewhere, you know, at a bar mitzvah sitting with people you don't know, or you're going to be in vacation, or you're going to be in Florida, or on a cruise, or whatever, and you're going to get to talking, and then you're going to say you went on JWRP, and someone's going to go, oh, me too! Oh my God! Right? Family! You're going to go, oh God, oh my gosh, was he hysterical? And you're going to be talking about all the, like those mikvah, you're just going to be talking about all this stuff, right? Are they unbelievable, right? And all right, everybody together, right? Let it go, let it flow. God loves me so, right? You're going to be doing that. Everyone's going to be like, what is wrong with them? But this trip has created, a movement and a revolution and a renaissance. And you're all a part of that now. So far, we have, the JWRP began in 2009, 300 women came, okay? And then it was 600, and then it was 900, and we kept building and building and building. Today we have over 7,000 participants from 19 countries on 6 continents. Okay, we are a movement. This is really something that's sweeping the world. The Israeli government, the Ministry of the Diaspora. The Ministry of the Diaspora is a division of the Israeli government that says we care about the Jews who live outside of Israel because we're all one nation. And they see that JWRP is having a major impact on that segment of the Jewish nation, the nation that lives outside of Israel. And now it's even the people who live in Israel. We didn't have Israelis on our trip, but Trip A did. And they're starting their own group called Imahot, which is mothers with like meaning. And they're starting this whole, I mean, it's really sweet. Who knew Israeli women needed a trip to Israel, right? But you could spend well, we have Israelis right here. What am I talking about? My Israelis right here. I'm so sorry. Here they are. Let's hear for the Israelis. Because like learning about the soul of Judaism, sometimes it just takes a different perspective. And everything you've learned your whole life, maybe you look at the flag differently, maybe you look at the country differently, maybe you look at Jerusalem differently. I don't know. I don't know. I just got here. Talk to me in 10 years, I'll tell you. Right? What? The whole thing. So this is sweeping the world. The way that JWRP works, right, with our family that has come before us, is you're going to feel like sisters when you meet them. And it's the women who came before you that allowed us to be here now, because they paid it forward, right? The way that it works, you see on here, is your partner organizations, all of your city leaders who are here, so they gave you the gift of a trip. They paid $350 for each one of your seats, and they invest in that because your growth matters to them and affecting their city matters to them. So they make that investment as a gift to you. JWRP raises $1,800 per woman. That is a combined of the Israeli government and donors from all over the world, family foundations, individuals, small donations, big donations, every little bit counts. For our trip, because we had the added security, the added parties, like that Saturday night party, how awesome is that? Right? We had all of these added things, so the JWRP spent an extra $125,000 to give us this, a big round of applause. To give us the security, the guards, the madrichim who were so amazing, the guards who were so amazing, the extra buses, the extra meals, right? They did all of this because we wanted you to feel safe and taken care of and nurtured, and we love you, and we're taking care of every last thing. And just because I was saying before in the meeting we had earlier that Ben Perry, who's the executive director of JWRP, so he sent out an internal email just saying, how great the trip was, and he heard, it's so amazing, just giving everybody, a big pat on the back in the organization who made the trip run. And he said, we don't run trips to the Bahamas. We run trips to Israel. Israel's complicated. So when it gets complicated, JWRP, we don't cancel. All right, it's complicated, so let's go. Like, what do we need to do to uncomplicate this? And they spent money that they didn't necessarily have because they wanted the trip to be unbelievable. And I think we just had a really unbelievable trip, so I think their money paid off. So in raising the money, I know how hard Lori Palatnik worked to really round the clock. I was getting emails from her and all kinds of things, what she was doing to raise the funds. And one of the amazing things that was created is a matching fund. So we have donors who have generously committed to match every dollar that we raise. And it's only until Friday. So we have a trip coming on Tuesday, and they're not going to be a part of that. But we in the other trip, we have an opportunity to be part of that. So we have this sister. Can you give me the next screen, please? Okay, so we have a sisterhood. Because, like I said, you'll be in the supermarket, you'll be in a cruise, you'll be in bar mitzvah, you're going to meet somebody from JWRP and feel that connection. So one of the things that we heard from people is, can we have a sisterhood? Like the way you have a sisterhood, it cannot, like a club, like a society, like something official. So you ask, we listen, we created a sisterhood. So the sisterhood has different levels. You know, everybody gives according to their level, or whatever you can give. Every little bit adds up. So whatever it is fantastic. And there's different levels that are available to you if you'd like to join the sisterhood. So you have these cards in your bags. So the first one is the Chai Society. That's $18 a month, right? And it comes out, it's like a few Starbucks, I think. And the benefits you get to that is you have access to JWRP in our website, JWRP.org. We have the main website that's available to everyone. But then we also have like special content that we put on there that's just available to the sisterhood. So a lot of you have been asking me if I'm going to be doing podcasts, I'm going to be doing webinars on JWRP's website. Lori has stuff on there. Adrian, the other trip leader, is going to be here next week. She has stuff on there. So you have access to that through the website. You get the sisterhood pendant, which a lot of people have been asking me about, like, oh, where'd you get that, right? So this is the official JWRP necklace. We just gave one to the mayor near Barkat. Some of us met the mayor yesterday. We gave him one for his wife. Okay, so you'll see these around a lot. You get the necklace. Where there's going to be monthly live interactive classes. Lori's already started doing them, or Gog did one. I think Eve Levy, didn't you do one? Eve did a webinar. I moved to Israel, so I didn't do them yet, but eventually I will. And you get one more wristband. A lot of you have been asking me, like, can I have some of those wristbands, like, for my kids? Like, can I have one of those? Right? So you get one wristband. Are we going to be selling more wristbands outside? No? Okay, so you get one wristband in the bag. Okay, so that comes with $18 a month. The next one, Double Chai Society, that's $36 a month. And you get everything that's in the $18 a month. You also get a copy of Lori's new book, which I don't have up here. It just came out. It's called Turning Your Husband into Your Soulmate. So it's everything from the marriage class. And there's a special chapter that says for men's eyes only. So who's reading that chapter? Everybody. We're all reading. Men's eyes are ha ha. But which chapter will your husband read? Is your husband going to read the book? No. But he's going to read that one. Like, oh, it's in there, right? So, okay, so you'll have that book. That's outside. You'll be able to get that. And then the last level, Miriam's Circle. Some of you have been blessed with the ability to maybe give a little bit more. So if anyone would like to, $1,800 annually, which supports somebody else's journey. That's paying it forward. That's what JWRP invested for you to be here. And if anyone can, that helps us to bring another woman. Next year we have 2,200 women coming. Is that right? 2,500 women are coming next year, God willing, okay? So we're getting busy with plans for that. And you also get this pin. This pin is called Miriam's pin. And you get this special pin, and if anybody, people come up to you and ask you about the pin, people ask me all the time, please tell them about the JWRP, tell them about your trip, tell them what's going on, tell them about the movement. So how many people are here on this trip because you heard about it from somebody else who went on it? Okay, talk this up. Wear your pendant, wear your pin, talk about it, because this allows more women to have this experience. This is what allows it. So right now, you have evaluations in your folder, and outside in the hallway, we have a table set up where you can purchase this different levels of sisterhood if you would like. And if anyone wants to, because we have this amazing opportunity for a matching donation, so of the $125,000, and that doesn't include the men's trip, by the way, even though these guys are so macho, like, they also need protection, right? They're big talkers, but like, they also need protection. The men's trip is coming up in 2 weeks, November 15th. So we have a women's trip coming Tuesday, November 2nd, 3rd, November 3rd, and 12 days later, the guys are coming. They also need, so the 125 doesn't even cover the guys' trip. 125 covers our trip and the next women's trip. So we have this matching fund going on right now only for 3 more days. So if anybody would like to, We worked it out that it costs us $167 per person to have all the extra stuff of all the women who are coming. And there was a woman here yesterday. She's like, okay, so 18 times 12 divided by, I don't know what. I'm like, not a math person. But she worked it out. She said, if I want to pay the $18 in full today, so you can get your matching gifts, can that count for the sisterhood for the year? Absolutely. Absolutely. So 18 times 12 equals something, I'm sure. Whatever it equals, 246? Whatever, we're having a machlaikas. Whatever it equals, you could do that. Okay? They're outside, yes. It's 1 year. It's for 1 year. It's $216. It's $18 per month for 1 year, or $36, or the $1,800 is annually, so that would be a little less than $180 a month. Okay? And whatever you want, ladies, I'm going to answer your questions, but you won't hear me because you're talking to your friend and you're going to ask me again. So hold on 1 second, I'm about to finish, and then you can talk as much as you want. So whatever you want to give today, if you want to do 36 times 12, 18 times 12, pay the whole $1,800 today, so we can, because then if you give $1,800 today, you really gave 36. You really gave $3,600, right? So it adds up. So if you, whatever you want to package, and today, just tell them when you go outside to purchase your pins and your necklaces and everything, and they'll whatever you want to do, just tell them and they'll do it. Yes. You cannot purchase the book today. No, I'm so sorry. It's just available for the $36 a month, which you can just schedule the $36 payment per month. That's also fine, and you'll get the book today. What's that? Leah wants to add something. Shh. I just did a quick calculation for the $36 a month. It works out to $432. That's like 1.5 counseling sessions. And you get the book, so if you think of it that way, and would you rather be sitting somewhere on like a comfy chair reading this book as opposed to trying to drag your spouse to a marriage counseling session and feeling really uncomfortable? Just saying. Okay, and Ruth also just let me know, because the JWRP is constantly expanding and improving, for joining the sisterhood, a lot of you have been asking me if you can get the classes from the trips. So that's all through the sisterhood. So Lori's classes are on there, my classes have all been recorded, they're all going to be uploaded to the website. So through the sisterhood, you're going to have access to all the classes from the trip and more. And more, we're constantly adding more material on there, so you'll be able to have the classes. Okay, any other, yes?
Pledge count towards Friday's match? No.
No, pledges don't count. If you want to pay part, like if you want to do, let's say, the $36 a month, so you get the book, which Lori's books are amazing. I don't know, it's not my book, so I can say I really recommend the book. Like, get the book if you can. You don't have to pay 36 times 12 today. You can pay 36 times whatever you want. Like, don't. It's not all or nothing. Okay, every little bit adds up. $36 means we get 72. You get your book. It's fantastic. Whatever works for you. Just we all, whatever you can do is great.
It's a U.S. bank, so it's all through.
We're American 501. You'll get an automatic tax receipt. So it'll come from the system. Yeah.
And then, how does after the 12 months runs, do you renew it?
We'll give you the opportunity to renew it.
And then continued access.
And continued access to the sisterhood. So we need to start, and the ladies that are out there, that are there at the tables to help you, can answer all of your questions as well. Fill out the sheet, and fill out the sheet for the donation, and then take it to the women outside. Thank you, ladies.